Hello, this is Jarrett Struby in EDL 854 for Modular 10, dealing with gifts to students or staff. Um, so when dealing with gifts to students, that falls into two categories. Gifts that are for participating in a fundraising event and gifts for student achievements. So when dealing with gifts for fundraising, the gift should only be for students that participate, which makes sense. It's only fair. Students who didn't participate should also get gifts for the fundraiser. Um, the gifts should be pretty inexpensive compared to so that a profit can be made so that you can raise the funds, and they should be purchased by the same organization. So you don't want gifts for the Future Business Leaders of America coming out of the athletic fund. Um, when dealing with gifts for special achievements, the gifts again should be inexpensive and appropriate to the age of the students, and they can come from the general fund, but you can also get money from parent groups like PTA, or from the appropriate group. So athletic awards can come from the athletic fund. So staff also get gifts. We have Teachers Appreciation Week every year, and just like anyone, they like to be recognized and awarded and get things, but there are some guidelines that need to be followed. So gifts dealing for special occasions like birthdays, engagements, weddings, anniversaries, the birth of a child, or recognition of someone's loved one passing on. Generally, those are going to be paid for with a staff remembrance fund that usually everyone pays into at least once a year. Sometimes money will be donated to that fund, but it's set aside specifically for those situations for staff, and it's raised by staff. So, again, those funds generally come from annual dues, and that is managed by a committee, and that committee should meet once a year, just to make sure that there are rules and guidelines that everyone agrees to, and that it is that those rules and guidelines are up to date. On occasion, we like to recognize all staff, and that those should be purchased by staff-generated money. So, like if there's a bake sale that only the staff participates in, or a vending machine in the teachers lounge, or a fund that the teachers pay into, those funds can come. That's where those funds come from. Now, a lot of times, money can be spent from the general fund. However, they need to be inexpensive, like less than $5 for every person, and what's purchased, those gifts need to be usable in the classroom. So, for instance, in my district, every year at the beginning of the year, all the teachers receive um, just a little care package with like expo markers and tape, um, things that we use in our classroom, like every year and need to be replenished. However, for staff gifts, we really should veer away from cash or gift cards, simply because those need to be reported on a W-2 as an income. Um, so it's generally best practice to give teachers tangible items that are low cost, so that it is not construed as additional income. Um, Special situations arise for students and staff members. Sometimes we need help, sometimes a disaster strikes, and we want to help those teachers out. So the thing that needs to be kept in mind is specifically for staff members is that any money that a staff member receives from the school district needs to be reported as income, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. So if a fundraiser is going to happen to give relief, say after a house fire, it should really get community involved, like the PTA or other organizations, and they can sponsor an event to help raise money. But generally, if you don't want that money coming out of the district accounts, because again, it needs to be reported as an income and taxed. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.